What's up guys, Darkish Raider. Here's my review for Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. It feels like Sly Cooper 2 and 3, but it looks drastically different, but in a good way.
Okay, Sly, we need to break Reezy out of jail. I have some ideas, but you know the drill. I need you to do some recon for me.
One thing I noticed is that this game is a lot funnier than the past Sly Coopers. Like, the other Sly Cooper games, it had the type of comedy where you would say, oh, that's funny, but you would say it in your head. Sly Cooper Thieves in Time actually made me laugh. If you're not really a patient gamer, you might not like some missions because the whole game isn't really action focused. But to me, it really didn't bother me because I appreciate what it means to be a master thief. You have to use the other characters that are implemented in the game, but Sly Cooper is going to be the all-around star player. Playing with the ancestors was really awesome, with the exception of one particular ancestor that I wasn't really a fan of. I don't know if I should say it or not because it might come off as a bit of a spoiler, but if you really want to know, inbox me on YouTube and I'll be glad to tell you. Carmelita Fox is a hypocrite. Like, throughout the game, she's calling Sly Cooper a liar for pretending that he was a changed man, like he wasn't a thief anymore. But she's a hypocrite because this isn't a spoiler if you played the past Sly Cooper games, but Carmelita lied to him saying that he faked an amnesia, and she's saying, oh, you're my partner, we work for the police, we're supposed to be working together and stuff like that. Was that not a lie? You lied to him about who he was. You lied to the man about his identity, and then you're gonna have the nerve to come off and say, oh, how could you lie to me, and throw a hissy fit at him? Like, what the hell? Playing the game, you're gonna have a lot of fun using the ancestors and their different abilities. Platforming feels very sexy. There are some mini games you gotta do in the game that you might get kind of bored of.
Just remember to aim for the real penguin.
I enjoyed the characters in the game and the boss fights were pretty fun.
Who turned on the blasted whistle?
Watch out, Sly, he's trying to smack you.
Every ancestor has their own distinct personality, which I enjoyed.
Just wondering where that goldie got to.
You'll have a lot of fun pickpocketing enemies for that one special item that some of them have. The game definitely finds ways to mix up the gameplay, and I noticed that there were a lot of parts in the game that reminded me of other games. Like, it had a direct influence. They've got some Max Payne in the game, Guitar Hero. Also, the Bentley hacks make a comeback with the original classic looking remade, remodeled to look sexier and futuristic.
Laser loop will work perfectly on that switch.
Along with two other mini games that Bentley performs to perform a hack. Now I got some questions in for this game. This question comes from Rajat Baknagar. His question is, from the videos I have seen so far, I have one doubt, if you can clear it up. Different ancestors have different abilities, but we can only use those abilities when playing those particular levels. We don't really have the option to use whichever move we like to use in any level of the game. It means there will be parts where I don't like a character and moves, and so many parts of the game might be unenjoyable for me. Towards the end of the game, do we get all abilities or not? Please answer without spoiling anything. Thanks. It is true you can only use an ancestor in their particular time period, but in every level of the game, Sly acquires a costume that grants him abilities. It's not the same ability as the ancestor, but it's a unique fun ability. Like, don't want to spoil, but just know, in my opinion, you also mentioned in your question that there might be some ancestors you don't like. I said before, there was only one that I didn't like. Next question comes from King Daniel, and his question is, how does it live up to the past 3 games? The platforming is like Sly Cooper 2 and 3, given that it is open world, but it's my favorite Sly Cooper game because of all the abilities that you get. Also, the graphics look sexier and there's more variety with the mini games. Next question comes from Ramon Jimenez, and he's asking, is the game worth buying? Given that it's $40, I would say it's a great buy. Even if you haven't played the past Sly Cooper games, which I do recommend. I know they have HD remakes on the PlayStation Store for $10 each. But even if you haven't played them, I'd say this game is a good buy. They do fill you in on the story at the beginning. But if you've played the past games, I feel like you're gonna have more of a emotional impact for the characters and what they go through in the story. Last question comes from Calvin Guy, also known as Nintendo Ultra. Shoutouts to him. His question is, how long is it? Each level is like a little less than an hour, so 5 levels, I'd say a little less than 5 hours. Math whiz. Thanks for your question, guys. Really appreciate them. Thanks for watching this video. Raider out.
Ship is definitely sinking. Get moving.
Good shot, lad. Now that's it, ticket.
Yeah, and I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. From the shy, like Tim, it's a harder way. So this is in the name of love, like Robert say. Before you ask me to go get a job today, can I at least get a raise on the minimum wage? And I know the government administers AIDS, so I guess we just pray like the minister say.